Like I said before, this game starts very slowly, but it gets much better as it goes on. I'm enjoying it so far already. Training, revival, new, term, long. Cool, we got 500 Mira. The training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roland and bringing back the contents of a chest. Cool, that sounds easy. Yeah, we'll take that. Yeah. Ooh, books tab. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions as a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow. There's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. Had a change of heart, have we? You betcha. Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? Exploring the sewers. We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Obro factory and learning about how to use its services. Oh. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you'll learn how to use Orbital Factory services. In the Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesization! Support quartz in order to obtain Orbital arts. Arts have a wide range of effects and, if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has a long-standing relationship with these Orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here? No problem, leave everything to me. Even though back in my day, I didn't have to explain anything like this to you children. You kids and your Orbital elements and your bracer guild and your helping people out and being Jessica Jones and saving people and taking on tasks and earning a living for it and your not hard work and your video games and your MP3 players and your electricity, especially that. Always come back and check those damn boards after you do anything. I figured. You take a shit, come back to the guild and check the boards. Seriously, if not, you will completely miss some quests. Okay. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also type of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed element slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an Orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So, what is it that you said you would like to know about? Bye! Simply put, Orbital arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the Orbital energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since Orbital arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an Orbital factory. Orbments are also set up that, once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those The type of arts that one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water element value. In reality, augments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. So, what is it that you would like to know? Quartz. Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have had a vast number of effects and raised the owner's abilities, while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your augments and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Sepith are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: earth, water, fire, wind, but then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Time, space, and mirage. Sepith can be exchanged for Mira almost anywhere, but at the Orbital Factory, it can be used to synthesize quartz in open augment slots, in which to install synthesized quartz. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Is he a robot? Because of how I'm reading the orange text. Leave. Looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some sepith. Receive several of each type of elemental sepith. With that amount, you should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular augments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you would be able to exchange sepith for Mira, but for the training you will not be able to use this service. Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select Modify or Trade to use the Orbital Factory services. First things first, I'm the realist. Second things sex. Second, let's save, which we already did. Oh my god, this was the part that I clearly either skipped over or completely forgot since I sucked at doing orbment stuff. Oh, I think I'm probably gonna suck at it too. Guitar man in a different universe. Yeah, why the fuck is that dude next to the register attempting to walk through the counter? Is he really? Oh yeah, well they both kind of are. They're both jogging in place. Yeah, I know. Damn, we don't have enough sepith to open it, do we? Alright, let's see, this is time. So, what does it take to synthesize this? Synthesize action 1? Yes, but what does it use up? Oh, sepith cost, so that's what it uses up. Okay. So yeah. HP, yes, give me that. Give me defense. Defend! Give me attack, and give me evade. And how much does it cost to open? 30 in each. Okay. It's good to know. That feel when you want Cheetos and everybody in chat is talking about them. Alright, let's go ahead and equip those. Orb Mint. Let's see, defense, HP, attack, evade. Honestly, I'm kind of a defense kind of guy. So let's put that on, and Joshua, let's put on that one, of course. Clock up, slow blur. So, okay. Wouldn't it have been funny if I put the time one on Estelle anyway? And just where do you think you're going? We aren't finished with the training yet. We are in my book, sister. Let's sell really quick. Wait, no, I wanted to save. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Although that's cool that that opens the memo. Cool. Estelle works well with earth-based ornaments. Cool, ornaments. So I made a good choice there, I'm guessing. Alright, let's go fight some baddies. Yeah. Alright, it looks like you were able to synthesize one. Next, I want you to increase the arts you can use. Now install a quartz into your orbment so that you can use both recovery and attack arts. Quartz can be installed in the orbment screen. The orbment screen can be utilized by selecting the orbment tab. I already did. Now install... Wait, did I not? If you're lacking the necessary quartz, then you can synthesize an item in Orbital Factory. Okay. Wind isn't bad on her either, since I think she is a good candidate for Arrow Storm. Okay. Orbment. Damn it! Orbment. So, let's see. What are we doing? I already put quartz on. Yeah, excuse you. I mean, I know I already did it, but... What does this chick want from me? Oh, damn it! There we go. I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with this chick. Oh my god! Let me live, girl! Yeah, I already did! Am I supposed to get rid of one of these? I guess let's put on the HP one. Alright, it looks like you got both recovery and attack arts set up. It's not what I wanted to do, but sure. If you balance your arts between each other like you've done here, it should make for dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks can contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbments. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them up early on. Now, I want you to use the Sepith and open a slot on each of your orbments. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Okay. slot, Estelle. Openable. Oh, okay. I thought it would tell me what kind it was before I opened it, but I guess that's okay. Alright, and now let's put on defense. Oh, and let's save. I see you've managed to open one of your open slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular element, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Geez, my clients never complain when I get the whip and put them in shape. Joshua, help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Don't mention it, and good luck with that test of yours. Back in my day, we didn't have tests. You know what we had? Bricks. And you know what we did with those bricks? We had to build things, like walls. We had to make things for people, and we didn't have all this fancy craft like you kids do nowadays where you can move things easier and not worry about straining your back or breaking a leg or hurting yourself. We'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this, getting in the sewers. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up until this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but... is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Caius drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah? And I even made you jot down what you read in the Bracer notebooks. Unless you forgot about that, too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned something for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? Oh, what a relief. Oh, divine Adidas. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers, and for allowing me to get shoes. So, what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you're acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. Ha! I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, enough jabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, I don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Foot loose. Kick off my Sunday shoes. Strigga kind. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the rest of your test? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this is a test will be a search conducted in Roland sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest, which has been placed somewhere in that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real living, breathing monsters down there, So if you get careless and let your guard down, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Tear Balm, Monster Guide. What's this book for? It's called a Monster Guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it here. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. I see what the shopkeep sees in you now at the equipment shop. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alright then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget, though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such.